I'm sure everyone watching this video has heard the phrase "don't judge a book by its cover." Well, I'd like to propose a new saying: don't judge a car by its badge. You may be thinking that this is stupid. If you see a Rolls-Royce badge, you know the car is going to be very luxurious. If you see a Bugatti badge, you know it's going to be very fast. But this isn't always true, because when you think of a Vauxhall badge, you probably think the vehicle wearing it is bland and boring. But this is not always the case. Many interesting and great cars have worn that badge over the years, including what is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated and underbought cars of the last 20 years, the Vauxhall VX220. But why would a company who makes this and this and this make this? Well, let's explore. The story of the VX220 starts with Lotus, who in 1999 were looking to update the original Series 1 Elise due to changing safety regulations. However, Lotus weren't the richest company in the world and therefore needed some funds to do this. They made a deal with General Motors, which stated GM would give Lotus some money if Lotus developed a version of their new car that GM could sell. This car would be sold in Europe by GM's European brands, Vauxhall and Opel. Both the Series 2 Elise and the Vauxhall VX220 would be produced on the same production line at Lotus's Hethel factory in Norfolk. Now, despite the Elise and the VX220 being very similar, there were some key differences. The new Elise would use a 1.8 litre Rover K series engine and later a Toyota ZZ engine, whereas the VX220 would use a 2.2 litre Ecotec engine from the Astra. Furthermore, the VX220 had a 30mm longer wheelbase, a 20mm longer track width, bigger wheels and lower door sills. It also came with ABS and an airbag as standard. The performance of the VX220 was also pretty impressive, with its 145 horsepower Astra engine giving it more power than the new Elise at launch, and it gave it a 5.6 second 0 to 60 time and a top speed of 135 miles per hour. The first concept of the VX220, or the Opel Speedster as it was called in Europe, was unveiled at the 70th Geneva Motor Show in March 2000, and it went on sale a few months later. The press loved the car, with Autocar saying it delivers almost supercar levels of handling and performance. However, despite the praise, there was still a lot of snobbery about the badge. People who were in the market for a sports car did not want to drive a Vauxhall, and therefore sales were slow. Only 458 were sold in the first year, and most of these were to dealers or as press vehicles. In 2003, Vauxhall introduced a 2-litre turbocharged version of the VX220, which produced almost 200 horsepower, had a top speed of 151 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds. The turbo received great reviews from the press, and it was Car Magazine's 2003 Performance Car of the Year, and Top Gear also said it was the most fun car of the year. At the 2004 British Motor Show, Vauxhall introduced their new performance brand, VXR. Two models were displayed: the Monaro, which was a rebadged Holden, and the VXR 220, a limited edition more extreme version of the VX220. It had better brakes, lower and stiffer Öhlins suspension, and Yokohama track day spec tyres, leading to better handling. It was tuned to produce 216 horsepower with a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Only 65 were ever produced, and it was only available in Calypso Red. Production of the VX220 and the Opel Speedster lasted until 2006. There was no successor for the Vauxhall, but in 2007 Europe got the Opel GT, which was a badge-engineered Saturn Sky. However, it was very different from the Speedster which came before it. It was front-engined, heavier, slower, and more importantly, American. The factory in Delaware which produced it did not have the necessary tooling for producing right-hand drive cars, and therefore we got nothing. The story of the VX220 demonstrates perfectly how important a brand's image is. Vauxhall were known at the time for producing boring, bland, soulless cars, and when they finally did come out with something that was not only interesting but fantastic, nobody bought it because they wouldn't dare be seen in a Vauxhall. And it's a great shame because the VX220 is a fantastic car. But alas, I guess people just couldn't see past the emblem on its grille. Maybe one day, people will learn to not judge a car by its badge. Anyway, that is it from me today. If you like this video, please do go down below and leave a like and maybe even subscribe. I apologise for the slight gap in videos. Stuff happened, but we back now, so that's cool. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I do hope to see you next time. Goodbye.